Board of Regents had a vision to develop their true firstborn college that will spearhead national development through agriculture. At the foot of Mount Makiling, Edwin B. Copeland, together with 7 faculty and 12 students, embarked on the journey to create the UP College of Agriculture, or UPCA. Through its 112 years of existence, the college has produced over 1,000 technologies and variety of plants and animals, 9 national scientists, over 30 outstanding young scientists, and more than 18,000 graduates contributing to agricultural development. UPCA, now College of Agriculture and Food Science, or CAFS, has been continuously contributing to nation building through its instruction, research, and extension function. A mere 10 years after establishment, the college was able to start breeding works with the production of sugarcane varieties with high productivity and resistance to Fiji and mosaic disease. In the 1920s, the importance of agriculture was intensified and UPCA was recognized as neighboring countries began sending their students to Los Baños because of the high quality of education. In the 1930s, breeds with superior characteristics such as the Burkhala pig, Los Baños Cantonese chicken, and Philippine cattle were developed. The 1960s was a fruitful decade for research. Makapuno, a coconut cultivar often made into a dessert, was pioneered and perfected. Meanwhile, the Dairy Training and Research Institute was the first in the country to freeze buffalo semen, paving the way for artificial insemination of local carabaos. Along with the establishment of UPLB in the 70s, the college received the prestigious Ramon Magsaysay Award for International Understanding, Asia's counterpart for the Nobel Peace Prize. In the same decade, the C4 plants were developed. The soil test kits were produced in support of the Masagana 99 program, and the mango induction technique was introduced. Continuing the production of quality research outputs in the 1980s, techniques to minimize post-harvest losses, the accelerated fish sauce manufacturing process, and the rapid test kit for the detection of pesticide residue on vegetables were developed. The 1990s saw many new varieties across species or crop types, including Sinta papaya, the first Philippine-bred hybrid, UPLB Gold, a durian variety, and Doña Amelita, a musaenda named after the wife of former President Fidel Ramos. The award-winning National Corn-Based Farmer Scientist RDE Training Program, or FSTP, was also established around this time and still remains as one of the university's primary extension programs. In the field of instruction, the book titled Integrating Sustainable Agriculture in the BSA Curriculum, the UPLB College of Agriculture Experience, was published in 1999. At present, the College of Agriculture and Food Science, or CAFS, continues to be the premier institution of higher learning in agriculture and food science and remains committed to nation building through its instruction, research, and extension programs. In order to produce the best graduates, all of our courses are outcomes-based education, and continuous improvement of the curriculum is being practiced to meet the challenges of the 21st century. As testament of excellence, CAFS is constantly recognized by different organizations. In research, we continue to implement relevant studies with focus on the 12 priority commodities to address food security. Moreover, technologies are constantly developed to aid in responsible food production. Supplementing these are extension activities to disseminate the knowledge generated to improve food productivity and livelihood of the people. We believe that present technologies will future-proof our food systems. Some of our notable developments are iDetect, Coraginam, Plant Health and Pest Clinic, Pest Management Tools and Techniques, Smarter Pest Identification Technology or SPID-Tech, Snap Hydroponics, Drone Technology, Rapid Immunofilter Assay for Virus Indexing, Nanofertilizers Fertigrow, Hormogrow, Nanobiosensors, and Biochar. We at the College of Agriculture and Food Science will continue to promote and nurture a culture with innovative yet conscientious minds and cutting-edge skills to lead and serve the country and the region. We are one college with one goal towards sustainable food systems. A 112 years ago, the UP Board of Regents had a vision to develop their true firstborn college that will spearhead national development through agriculture. At the foot of Mount Makiling, Edwin B. Copeland, together with 7 faculty and 12 students, embarked on the journey to create the UP College of Agriculture, or UPCA. Through its 112 years of existence, the college has produced over 1,000 technologies and variety of plants and animals, 9 national scientists, over 30 outstanding young scientists, and more than 18,000 graduates contributing to agricultural development. UPCA, now College of Agriculture and Food Science, or CAFS, has been continuously contributing to nation building through its instruction, research, and extension function.
Alright po. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat and welcome to our Rice Science and Technology Webinar Series Part 2. Handog po sa inyo ng College of Agriculture and Food Science, University of the Philippines, Los Baños, in collaboration with the Philippine Rice Research Institute. This event is made possible through the coordination and planning of the Ad Hoc Committee headed by our Dean of the College of Agriculture and Food Science, Dr. Elpidio M. Agbisit Jr. My name is Jessa Magtoltol from the Agricultural Systems Institute and I am your host this morning. Of course, sasamahan po tayo ni Miss Joanna Rose Vergara mamaya sa ating open forum. First po, let me acknowledge our participants from the different social media platforms. We are live via Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube. Nasa higit 800 po yung nag-register sa ating session this morning nationwide from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Sa mga participants po natin who are watching from Visayas and Mindanao, maayong buntag sa inyong tanan. So to move forward, to ensure a smooth program flow, let me read our virtual house rules. For panelists, uh, keep your microphones muted at all times except if called or requested. For Zoom participants, during Q&A, use the chat box or raise hand function to be recognized. For our Facebook and YouTube viewers naman, please use the comments section. Alright, sabay-sabay po tayong matuto sa ating episode 6 titled Rice Grown by Drone. Is this possible? Posible po kaya? So to formally open our program for this morning, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Dr. Rodmir F. Datuon, our newly appointed Director of the Agricultural Systems Institute. Congrats, Doc Rodmir, and good morning po.
Maraming salamat, Jessa, and good morning to all na nakikinig sa atin ngayon, whichever medium you are accessing this webinar. To the Dean Peets of the College of Agriculture and Food Science, the CAPS webinar team, and the Philippine Rice Research Institute team, it is my pleasure to give the opening remarks for this particular webinar by Dr. Jasper Talyada. As we know and we are familiar, digital technologies, or some would say the fourth industrial revolution technologies, is or has been changing our lives. And most of all, it is changing how food is being produced. No? So this presentation by Dr. Jasper is very timely and it's very important as drones and other digital technologies is changing the way rice is being produced. It is affecting productivity. It is affecting how labor is used. It is affecting the cost and the yield of rice production, both positively and negatively. So I hope this webinar sparks interest or ideas, or as I would say, plant the seeds in our minds and in our scientific curiosity as researchers to research further yung uses ng drones and other digital technologies, no? As it affects different aspects of the agricultural systems and different aspects of lives of our farmers and consumers and our ordinary citizens in the Philippines. So, and I would like to end this message by saying that digital technologies, whatever it is, AI, drones, software, these are tools. And this is only as good as if we can find ways to uplift the lives of our farmers and to uplift the lives of the least among us, the poorer segments of the society. So with that, I would like to advance my congratulations to Dr. Jasper Talyada, and I would like to advance my congratulations to all participants of this webinar, because I am sure we will learn a lot from our presentation today. So thank you all, and this is a good day to learn from Dr. Talyada. Back to you, Jessa.
Thank you, Doc Rodmir, for that warm greetings and welcome to our webinar for this morning. Indeed po, no, na Excited po tayong matuto sa ating speaker, especially sa ating drone technology. So, let's, yun. May I request our panelists to please open your camera for our quick group photo. So, yung mga tech po natin, mag-a-assist po. So, ayan. So, sa ating mga panelists, magka-count po ako ng 1, 2, 3, smile. So, smile po kayo. Okay, so, okay po. 1, 2, 3, smile. Isa pa po, para sure. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. So, okay na po. So, let me share my screen ulit. Yan. So, moving forward, no, let me take this opportunity to introduce our speaker. Our speaker this morning is a supervising science research specialist from the Rice Engineering and Mechanization Division of DA PhilRice. No? Let's give a virtual applause to Dr. Jasper G. Talyada. Sir, good morning po. Wait po,
Okay. Just came there.
Hi, I'm Jasper Talyada of the Rice Engineering and Mechanization Division of the Philippine Rice Research Institute, or PhilRice. I'm gonna be discussing about one of the latest technologies that we have right now for agriculture, and that is the use of agricultural drones. Now, my presentation is entitled Rice Grown by Drones. Is it really possible? Now, to give you an overview of what I'm gonna discuss, I'll be discussing about the general aspects of agricultural drones. And then that would be followed by the regulatory requirements that we have for this technology. And the results of some of our research work done on agricultural drones, particularly on growing rice, inbred rice, and hybrid rice using drones, and what would be the next steps that we see for this technology. Now, let us first define what drones are, or particularly aerial drones. A drone, in technological terms, is an unmanned aerial vehicle. No? And it goes by the name unmanned aerial vehicles or unmanned aircraft systems, UAVs or UAS. But here in the Philippines, our official name for this device or for this machine is RPAS, or Remotely Piloted Aircraft System, or sometimes we call it the RPAs or the RPA. And you know that drones are essentially a robot. It has its own brain, it has its own actuations, and it can be remotely controlled or can be controlled using a software, a remote software, or it can behave autonomously. It can decide for itself based on the pre-programming that you did with this device. Ganun po ang agricultural drone. Essentially, isa po siyang robot. Meron siyang mga actuations, meron siyang sariling brain, computer inside, may mga propellers siya to make it fly. And as I've said, it is essentially a robot po ang drones. Now, many of us, karamihan sa atin naging familiar na kung anong drones, no? Nakikita natin siya especially during Christmas time, nabibili natin sila sa mga toy shops or nakita natin na maraming chances na may nagpapalipad ng drone. So, ito sa upper left ng ating slide, yan ang ating nakikita parati, no? May mga camera siya for us to see a video or a photo of something. And this can be acquired remotely, no? Remote yung pagkuha ng video o ng photo. At naririnig din natin ang drones when it comes for military application, just like what you see here right now. Ito po isang military drone na ginagamit sa mga surveillance operations, sometimes even for attacks, no, during times of battles or in wars. And you know that the Philippines even have acquired 2 of these military drones recently, no? Alam ko isang imported ito from another country. And basically, there are 2 types of drones, no? May tinatawag tayong fixed wing or multi-rotor. Yung fixed wing para siyang eroplano, no? Meron siyang propeller. Itong nakikita niyo sa gitna na color black is a type of fixed wing. Advantage kasi ng fixed wing drones, they can fly higher at they can fly longer. Okay? Kasi nakakatulong yung wings para i-maintain siya sa air. Okay? And also, we have the vertical lift-off type of drone. Ito nakita nyo sa kanan niya, which is yung naka-orange po. Pwede siya lumipad vertically. Pagdating niya po sa taas, magiging horizontal po siya and it will behave like a fixed wing. Pero the most common na nakikita po natin is ang multi-rotor. May natawag tayong quad rotor, 4 ang kanyang LEC or propellers. May natawag tayong hexapter, no? Or 6 ang kanyang rotors. Tapos may nakita rin tayong octopters. 8 ang kanyang propellers o rotors na ginagamit. Tapos meron tayong specialized kind na tawag natin octoquad na drone. Or sometimes this is called octocopter na coaxial. 2 ang kanyang propellers taas, no? Sa bawat arm, may 4 na arms. Sa bawat arm, may 2 tayong propellers. So, yan natatawag natin octopter coaxial, or sometimes people call it the quad octopter. Parang ganun po. Okay? Now, the first time that I encountered this technology, the drone technology, is way back early 2000 po. Ang ginagamit nila ay isang helicopter. Isa rin po siyang type of drone. Okay, single propeller po. Actually, 2 propellers po, meron pang isa sa tail part niya. At ginagamit na po to for agricultural application. Sa Japan ko po to ulang nakita, yung Yamaha brand na helicopter. Maliit lang po siya, okay, pero medyo may kalakihan din po, no? Para makapag-carry siya ng certain payload for the spraying operation. And that was early 2000 pa po. But recently, nakita ko po, meron tayong mga multi-rotor. Marami na pong mga propellers na ginagamit sa drone. Isang very common ngayon na maker ng drones, ang DJI, largest producer po worldwide ng drone. Okay? At for cultural application, grass niya. Meron one of the earliest version, the Agras T10. Okay, meron 4 rotors. It can carry about 10 kg of payload capacity. Meron din po tayong T16, Agras T16, na meron siya about 16 kg capacity, at yung Agras T20. As you kita nyo naman trend, it has a 20 kg payload capacity. Wala po dito sa ating slide ay ang Agras T30 na quite common na minamarket po ngayon sa Philippines. Pero ang latest po ng DJI is ang Agras T40. Meron siyang 40 liters na payload capacity, that is for spraying, at kaya niya rin po magkaroon ng payload of about 50 to 60 kilograms naman po for fertilizer application or seeding application. So that is the DJI Agras lines of drones. One is the XAG. Okay, isang competitor po ng DJI. Meron siyang P40, ito yung pinaka-flagship product niya po quite recently. Meron po siyang 4 na rotors for spraying, for po, ginagamit ito. At ang pinaka-latest po ng XAG as I know is yung V40. This time, dalawa lang po ang kanyang propellers na ginagamit. Para siya mag-move, twist niya po itong mga propellers so that it can move forward, backward, or yung kanyang ang kanyang movement. Okay? Dalawang propellers lang po. Now, when it comes to regulation, the official government body that does that is the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, o itatawag natin CAAP. Okay? Sila nagde-define ng mga limitations, regulation for any object flying within the airspace of the Philippines. Now, CAAP publishes a certain civil aviation regulation. And that part 11 of that regulation pertains to the operation ng mga RPA o remotely piloted aircraft systems. Ang CAAP nagre-require po ng certain certifications. We have kung isang company o isang organization wants to fly drones, kailangan niyang mag-secure ng certificate of authorization from CAAP. Tapos, aside from that, isang organization na gusto mag-operate ng mga drone, a fleet of drones, okay, within the Philippines, kailangan niya mag-secure ng operator certificate. Now, for a particular pilot, yung nagko-control mismo ng drone, kailangan nila mag-secure ng controller certificate. So, ang dami pong mga certification or licensing na kailangan po, ano? At kailangan din pong i-register yung drone natin with CAAP. Sila po ang nagme-maintain ng database of all those registered drones. Alam ko po meron pang Civil Aviation Board or CAB for those nag-ooperate as a franchise ng operation drone. For any franchise application, kailangan po ng CAB registration. Para po itong sasakyan din po, no? Pagka gagamit ka ng car, kailangan mo ipa-register yung sasakyan. Di ba? Kailangan ipapa-license yan. Kung kailangan mong mag-drive ng car, kailangan mo rin po ng driver's license. Ganun din po yan sa drone. Now, kung operator ka kunyari ng jeepney o ng bus, kailangan mo rin mag-secure ng permission from LTFRB. Yun naman po ay para yung Civil Aviation Board. So, ganun din po yan. Same parallelism po sa operation po ng any commercial vehicle po. Ang CAAP po ay nag-impose ng certain limitation when it comes to operation of drone within the Philippines. Una po, ang registration of the unit. Kung tumatanggap tayo ng bayad, that is, we are doing commercial operations using an RPA ng drone, we need to have our unit registered with CAAP. Now, for non-commercial application, like isa kang research institution, isa kang government institution, or private institution, pag meron tayong large RPA, that is more than 7 kilograms, you need to have your unit registered, including if you have your assembled unit, just like this one, pag bumigat na siya ng more than 7 kilograms, kailangan natin ipa-register sa CAAP yung ating unit. Now, CAAP also said that we cannot operate a drone less than 30 meters away from onlookers, yung mga tao na hindi directly associated with the operation ng drone. Okay? That is for safety purposes. We should be at least 30 meters away from a group of people or a crowd of people. We cannot fly drones more than 400 feet so that we will not interfere with the commercial operation of mga aircraft, no? Mga airplanes, helicopters. Kaya may limit pong 400 feet from the ground level yung operation ng drone natin. And we cannot operate within 10 kilometers from an aerodrome reference point, also known as airport. Okay? Mga landing strips. It should be more than 10 kilometers away. Also, CAAP requires the operator to have always, to maintain always a visual line of sight with the unit. Kailangan parati niya po nakikita at all times yung operation po ng drone. And it cannot fly drones during night time. Okay? Because for security purposes, to avoid voyeurism. Ayan po. Now, if there are certain operation na kailangan nighttime, no, like yung mga display of certain number of drones, like may mga patterns, kailangan mo lang po mag-secure ng special permission from CAAP, mga special cases na yon. Or mag-operate ka ng malapit sa airport, kailangan din po ng special permit from CAAP. Okay. Now, ang agricultural drones, now mostly, we are focusing on the following main functions. One is for spraying of agrochemicals. Okay? That includes pesticides, herbicides, molluscicides, yan po mga agrochemicals. Also, we can use drones for seed and fertilizer spreading. Okay? Ginagamit din po ang drones sa pagbo-broadcast po ng fertilizer, pagbo-broadcast po ng seeds. Now, ginagamit din po ang drone for crop monitoring. You can take aerial imagery for analysis or to see what's happening in the field using drones. Now, there are certain drones na meron po silang multispectral capability. May mga 4, 5, or 6 cameras, special cameras na ginagamit. Yan po, mga special drones po yan na tawag nating multispectral imagery. Pwede rin po ang drones for that. Although narinig din po natin na ginagamit po ang drone for package delivery like sa US ng Amazon. Ginagamit po yan, but hindi po at alam ko po wala pa po sa Pilipinas na package delivery using drones, ano po. But mostly for agricultural application here in the Philippines, usually po ay spraying, seeding, fertilizer spreading, and crop monitoring po. Now, the modern day agricultural drones, may mga special features na siya aside from its capability to fly remotely or can be remote controlled. One is, most drones meron siyang GPS RTK. It's a device or global positioning system device na meron siyang real-time kinematics capability for precision positioning. It can do less than 1 centimeter positioning po. Unlike yung mga ginagamit natin sa cellphones, yung ginagamit natin sa mga cars, meron lang po siyang 2 to 5 meters na precision positioning. Ang drones po, meron siyang sub-centimeter, less than 1 centimeter positioning capability. Now, most drones are able to accept a certain flight plan. Pwede mo siyang i-pre-program para meron siyang, alam niya na kung ano yung path na iti-take niya. Okay? And you can save this flight plan for future use, no? For the same area, for the same operation po, yung flight plan pong yan. Natatawag natin mission planning for that. Now, yung mga later version ng drones, meron po silang capability to avoid obstacles. Puno, electrical posts, electrical towers, kasi meron siyang LiDAR device para to avoid these obstacles. Okay? Pwede niyang i-avoid to move around of that obstacle. Now, some of these drones, meron siyang terrain following capability, no? Lalo pagka rolling yung terrain natin, susundan lang niya po ang terrain. Now, some drones, meron silang continuous weighing capability. Habang lumilipad siya, wini-weigh po niya ang laman niya, ang contents niya, para mas precise po ang delivery ng material po dun sa field. Now, because of that, some of those drones, meron siyang precision application capability for variable rate technology. Different areas, different points dun sa area, pwede siya mag-deliver ng iba-ibang amount of fertilizer, amount of agrochemicals. Okay? Kaya pwede po ang variable rate technology for some special types of drones. So these are some of the features that we have right now for the modern drone. Some of these are not present po sa mga drone na yon for economic purposes. Pero pagka meron pong ganito, you have to pay extra for these special features. Now, what is shown on the slide right now are some of the spraying application po, no? Yan po, you can deliver it usually po using water as a carrier po ng ating mga agrochemicals. Because of the downward push of the wind due to propeller, meron pong interaction between the mist pattern or the spray pattern tsaka yung sa wind po. Kaya isang advantage po ng drone can really push down this material or chemicals dun sa ating field. And also aside from that, meron pong disturbance na ginagawa siya sa mga plants para maabot ng sprayer po yung underneath the canopy ng ating mga crops. Kaya isang napakagandang ginagamit din pong ang mga drones for that. And it can cover a large area using drones, no? Ang isang claim po, like for example, yung Agrasti 30, it can cover about 40 acres. It's about 16 hectares in 1 hour of operation for spraying. Yun naman po ay theoretical field capacity. Sabi ng mga operators, ang totoo po, mga 8 hectares daw or less per hour po ang pwedeng i-cover ng drone. Kasi andyan pa po nawawala ng power yung battery, kailangan niya pong mag-return, kaya may mga time losses siya. Pero in terms of spraying capability, mabilis po ang drone. Okay. By the way, don't you know that the agricultural drones are originally designed for rice, for spraying sa rice? Yan po. Kaya magandang gamitin po ang drone for rice. Now, aside from spraying, we have the seed and fertilizer spreading, no? Like yung sa Agras po, meron siyang spinning discs to distribute this materials of field, no? Fertilizer or seeds. You can vary the opening of the device or the RPM of the spreader para mabago po yung kanyang width at saka yung delivery rates ng material po. Now, what is shown on the right side is the device being used sa XAG. Iba naman po ang kanyang technology, na meron siyang roller para ma-control niya po ang flow rate ng material at meron siyang wind gust of air para i-spread po yung material outward po para mas malaking width ang kanyang ma-cover. So these are two designs of two different agricultural drones na popularly ginagamit po ngayon. Now, dito sa Phil Rice, we were exploring about the use of drones for rice production. And primarily nga po, we are using drones for seeding and for fertilizer application. Kumbaga ginagamit namin yung spreader attachment o feature ng drone. We wanted to use it for spraying, pero meron po kasi tayong limitation with the agrochemicals that we can use using drones. Yan po. Ang FPA po kasi, ang may jurisdiction on the registration of the agrochemicals for drone operation. Kailangan daw po kasi magkaroon ng label expansion because most of these agrochemicals are indicated for knapsack sprayer. Now, if you want to use those agrochemicals for drones, kailangan daw po magpa-label expansion. So, yun ang isa po naging constraint namin before in using drones for agrochemical application po because of that FPA limitation. So, we focus much of our attention on seed spreading and secondarily on the fertilizer spreading. So we want to answer these questions. How good will the drones be for seeding rice? No? Gaano ka-effective ba talaga ang drones? No? Kaya niya bang pantayan yung productivity pag gumamit tayo ng traditional crop establishment methods like broadcasting or transplanting? Now, can we reduce the seeding rates pag gumamit ka ng drone? Yan po ang target kasi ngayon ng Phil Rice. Dati-dati ang mga farmers ay umaabot we are trying to convince farmers to apply 40 to 60 kilograms per hectare. Mas mababa. Kaya ba natin pain ang seeding rate? And we can do that with drones. Kasi napakahirap po mapa-reduce yung seeds ng per hectare. And broadcasting or even for manual transfer. Now we can see that we can more or less match up the productivity o yung ating yield for these other crop establishment methods. And we have shown that we can even reduce seeding rate. So we focus much of our attention on seed spreading and secondarily on the fertilizer spreading. So we want to answer these questions. How good will the drones be for seeding rice? No? Gaano ka-effective ba talaga ang drones? No? Kaya niya bang pantayan yung productivity pag gumamit tayo ng traditional crop establishment methods like broadcasting or transplanting? Now, can we reduce the seeding rates pag gumamit ka ng drone? Yan po ang target kasi ngayon ng field rice. Dati-dati ang mga farmers ay umaabot pa as high as 300 kilograms per hectare. Ngayon po, we are trying to convince farmers to apply 40. Now, kaya ba natin pababain ang seeding rate? And we can do that with drones. Kasi napakahirap po mapa-reduce yung seeding rate kasi mahirap po siyang tansyahin using manual broadcasting, but that is quite possible using agricultural drones. Now, pwede rin ba siya sa hybrid rice? Kasi alam natin na mas mahal po ang ang seeds ng hybrid rice. So those are the things that we are focusing sa field rice. Now, the next slides that I'm going to show you some of the results of our experiment. Firstly, on the seeding of inbred rice. Now, we use N6 RC402, okay, for several seasons, cropping seasons, and we varied the rate, no, from 20, 40, 60 kilograms per hectare. Yung reference rate natin ay 40 kilograms per hectare, or even up to 60 kilograms per hectare. And we try to compare that with the manual broadcasting or even for manual transplanting. Now, we can see that we can more or less match up the productivity o yung ating yield for these other crop establishment methods. And we have shown that we can even reduce our seeding rate to as low as 20 kilograms per hectare, which is very difficult to achieve using manual harvesting. Kaya napakaganda po ng naging results nito. Na pagka mapa-reduce natin ang seeding rate natin using drones, mas marami tayong pwedeng ma-cover na areas, lalo na po ngayon sa RCEF seed component. No? Mas maraming area ang pwede niyang ma-cover if we can just reduce the seeding rate na ginagamit ng farmers. Now, here are some of the photos that we have for this. Ito po ay para sa ginawa natin sa Future Rice Complex. Okay, may side-by-side comparison, drone spreading, broadcasting, and transplanting, manual broadcasting and mechanical transplanting. Ito yung around the time of crop establishment. On January 12, ito po naging results. O series of pictures po, January 20, ayan po, medyo tumutubo na po ang ating ang ating nakikita na po from the air. Okay, then we have the crops po on January 25, 2022. Ayan po, February 3, ayan po. February 11, ayan, lumalaki na siya, no? This is February 17, March 1, March 7, March 14. So we take almost weekly po, no? Even weekly. Ito po, during close to ripening na po ng ating crop. Ayan po. Now, we also try to do ang hybrid seeds, no? And when we compared that with other crop establishment method, medyo hindi naman po, doon sa dry seeds 2022, medyo tinamaan kami dyan ng sakit actually. Kaya hindi ganun kaganda yung ating results for low rates ng drone spread na 10 kilograms. Pero ang 18 po, medyo tumatama na match niya yung manual broadcasting and mechanical transplanting po ang yield. So you can really use drones for seeding hybrid seeds. So these are some of the shots that we have. Ayan po. So I will just show you pictures of this cropping. Okay, March 14. 22, ito po, malapit na sa ripening stage. Ayan na po, medyo tumutumba po kasi ang crop pagka mataas na. Ayan po, ito close to harvest time na po ito. Now, we also compared drum seeder and drone spreader sa Walk Talk Innovation Project po ng Phil Rice. Okay, using RC222, one of the more popular varieties po ng rice. And we were able to get a almost same yield po as a drum seeder and a drone spreader po for this. So ayan po ang aerial view. Yan po. Medyo maganda po ang crop establishment nito. Yan po, ito close to harvest time na po. Ayan. Okay. Now, we also tried to reduce the fertilizer rate. No? Si Mr. Ailon Capistrano po ang nag-investigate po nito using the RC436 variety. Now, he was wondering if we can, if the drone could spread uniformly yung fertilizer, pwede ba natin i-reduce yung ating fertilizer rate, no? So yun ang comparison niya, yung comparison ng drone with manual spreading or broadcasting. Then binaba ng 75%, 50%, almost even up to 75%. May hint na kayang pantayan pa rin po ang manual methods na mapareduce ang amount of fertilizer to be applied. So ayan po. So this is a result, aerial view ng kanilang experiment. Yan po. Okay. Now we also did some pencil pushing for the cost return at naipakita rin po namin na medyo kaya naman po, no, mapababa ng kaunti ang ating cost, primarily sa paggamit po ng lower amount of seeds, no, doon sa field. So meron pong ganong analysis din pong ginawa. Now, ang PhilRice po, we are also actively partnering with the University of Santo Tomas, itong team po ni Dr. Anthony James Bautista po. Sila po ay nag-develop po ng drone, yung octopter po, may 8 rotors po, na although this drone is used for water sampling sa field, no? Pero pwede rin po siyang gawan ng attachments for fertilizer spreading or seed spreading or even for spraying application. At one time, in-invite niya po ako for one day para turuan paano mag-assemble ang drone. Ito nakikita niyo sa harapan niyo, tinuruan po paano mag-assemble, how to operate a drone, how to calibrate a drone, and how to even fly a drone. No? Pinalipad din po namin yan. So we have active partnership with UST for this. At recently, some of his students is doing an attachment for spraying and for seed spreading. Itong grupo ni Dr. Bautista. Now, what are some of the steps that we think when it comes to drone? No? These are some of the ideas that we have. One is we really need to train more people on this technology. No? How to make use of those commercial drones, o paggamit ng commercial drones. Kasi hindi mo basta-basta magpapalipad niyan. Kailangan mo magkaroon ng pilot training, need to do licensing from CAAP so that you will have your parang driver's license, no? You need to undergo training. And we want to target po yung mga young people. Kasi you will be the future of agriculture. And this kind of technology, this drone technology, this robotics technology will be a key to attract young people to farming, no? Lalo na ngayon, problema po natin ang aging farmers. So we need to attract younger people to go into farming. And we think that use of this technology is an avenue to attract this younger breed of people to farming. And some of the steps that we need to do is to really fine-tune yung operational parameters. We need to calibrate the drones. No? Ano dapat yung RPM for seed spreading or opening po niya for different materials like pagka dry seeding against wet seeding ng rice, no? Medyo magkaiba po ang characteristic ng mga seeds kung dry siya and wet, no? Yung pinatubo ng kaunti. Kailangan malaman po natin 'yan. Ano dapat ang spacing sa flight plan niya, no? Yung yung flight plan kailangan po ma-determine din po. So, there's still a lot of things to be done in determining optimizing the operation of the drones. And we need to do a lot of promotion, road shows, demonstrations. Right now, we are actively working with the Palay-Sikatan sites of RCEF for demonstrating this technology to more number of farmers. During Lakbay Palay, we are doing that. And we can conduct road shows together with the regional field offices or other organizations para mas maraming farmers ang makaalam ng technology na to. Also, we need to develop business models for this kind of technology. Like yung franchising application, yung paggamit ng natawag natin farm service centers or farm service operators po, no? Kasi po, this is quite expensive technology. Kailangan po ng technical requirements, may technical capability ng operator. And by franchising this to these farm service centers or operators, we can do that. At ngayon po, lumalabas yung concept ng RAAS or Robotics as a Service. You will not have those farmers to buy the robot or buy the drones, kundi meron po talaga ng service provider. Okay? Para po yung risks sa paggamit ng technology na to ay will be shouldered by the provider, not by the farmers. And mas maganda po sana if we can locally design RPAs. Kasi we are importing a lot of technology, foreign technology, ini-import natin itong product na ito. And it will have a lot of savings if we can locally develop this. And you know that we can buy the parts from Lazada, from Shopee, or from Alibaba or AliExpress. We can buy most of these components, and we just have to learn how to put them together and how to operate this drone. So, magandang leapfrog mangyayari pagka we can locally design and develop these RPAs. And one more thing, we can have a tandem between unmanned ground vehicle, yung mga ground-based robots, and the unmanned aerial vehicles para sa totality ng operation ng robotic technology o ng drones for rice agriculture. There must be an optimum combination of this technology and the on-the-ground robotics technology. Maganda pong makita yun in the near future at mabilis na po ngayon ang development ng technology. So, at this point, I would like to acknowledge, firstly, yung ating partner company na katulong namin sa experiments, sa field work namin on using drones, yung Agridome of Davao City. Okay? We want to acknowledge their help in letting us use their drones in conducting all these field work, field experiments, and all these people who are involved in this exploration namin or experimentation namin with agricultural drones. So I think that's all I have right now for the use of agricultural drones for rice farming. Is it really possible? I think you have seen the data. It is possible. And we need to help one another how to maximize the potential of this technology for rice farming. So thank you very much. Thank you for listening.
Okay po. Thank you very much, Sir Jasper Talyada, for that informative presentation about drone technology po. So before po tayo mag-proceed sa ating program proper po, let me acknowledge po the presence of our Associate Dean for Research and Extension, Doc Lilia Fernando Corpus. Hi ma'am, good morning po. Okay. So, So to proceed sa ating open forum, no, let's welcome Miss Joanna Rose Vergara from the Agricultural Systems Institute. Miss
Thank you,
Juana.
Jess. Thank you. So, good morning, everyone. Sobrang interested ng ating mga viewers. So, bilang moderator, nalilito ako sa pagkikiin ng ating mga questions. So, thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the Rice Science and Technology Webinar Series Part 2. So, we have 500, as of kanina, 575 participants across platforms. So, we have parang mga 300 plus sa Facebook, and then eto na, umabot na tayo ng 448 sa Zoom, and then we also have some participants tuning in sa YouTube channel. So hello, thank you for tuning in. So assisting with me today para sa Q&A also is the ASI webinar team. So sila yung mag-help sa akin na mag-collate ng mga questions. So good morning, Dr. Talyada. Thank you po for this interesting topic.
Good morning. Yes, thank you so much.
Sobrang futuristic po at talagang ang mga bata po at ang mga kagaya natin ng mga young farmers ay interested talaga sila. Ang dami nilang tanong. So thank you din, sir, for answering yung mga prior questions na. So para nag-move ang ating mga tanong. So meron na po kayong nasagot na 6 and we still have 11. So para lang din sa benefit ng mga nasa Facebook na hindi nakikita yung mga kasi 300 din sila, no, yung mga tinanong kanina. So itanong ko po muna yung mga unang nasagot na ni sir. So about the concept of using drone can be used for all crops, and what is the major disadvantage of drones? So sir Dr. Talyada?
Oh yes, drones can be used for spraying for all other crops. You can use drones for that as long as walang difficulties in accessing the crop. Siyempre, ang primary concern natin will be the safety of the operation of the drone. No? Kaya for field crops should be okay, but for tree crops medyo alanganin po tayo, no? But if you let the drone operate on top of the canopy of the tree crops, probably okay po ang drone, no? Likely okay po. May mga nakita akong new designs na nag-hover po ang drone on top of the canopy to make sure that the mist reaches the underside of the canopy. At saka di lang po siya for crops, pwede rin po siya for fishery, actually, no? For fishery application. Pwede rin po siya sa pasture land management for livestock. Pwede rin po natin gamitin ng drone.
So sir, additional question po in terms po ng operations, is it possible to spray drone in the sloping area daw po?
Definitely po. Pwede po. Ang mga new designs po, meron silang contour following feature, no? Kasi po ang ating GPS RTK, meron siyang XYZ components. Yung Z, that would be elevation. So the drone has to maintain a certain height from the ground. So pwede po ang mga sloping areas po.
So that would be a nice innovation for the sloping area. So, efficiency po
Definitely.
ng pag-handle at management.
Mm.
So in terms naman sir ng wear and tear, ang drone equipment po ba, ilang taon daw po ang itatagal? At masisira po ba pag nabasa bigla ng ulan?
Most drones ngayon ay IP65 yata rating po nila, na kahit ulanin po siya, hindi po siya masisira. Kahit paliguan mo siya, hindi po siya masisira. Now, in terms of life, we don't have a solid data yet on the longevity or the expected life of the drones. But ang sabi sa akin ng mga suppliers ng drone ay, alam niyo sir, sabi sa akin, even less a few years, mga 2 years, 3 years, kaya niyo na po ma-recuperate yung investment cost on the drones for spraying alone, for spraying operation.
Tapos, in terms naman daw po ng manufacturing, may local manufacturers na daw ba ang drones? Kasi sa ibang bansa, matagal na po nila ginagamit itong technology. Kasi sa market, sobrang mahal po ng drones at marami ring documents na kinakailangan para makapag-operate. So maganda sana kung ang technology, pero mas pinipili pa rin ng local farmer na mag-adapt sa traditional application ng pesticide, agrochemical, which is harmful sa operator, and manual seeding at broadcasting at fertilizer application. So yun, any insight po sir tungkol doon sa local manufacturer? And
right now, we don't have a local manufacturer po ng drone. No? Yung Philippine brand na drone po. Mostly nga po ay ini-import natin, mapa XAG man yan o mapa DJI man yan, we import them mainly from China. And what we are really hoping is for us to produce our own version of this drone. There had been a big project noon funded by Pishard, I guess, a collaboration of several universities to produce a drone, but we never heard kung anong naging outcome noong collaboration na ito. But there is one being developed by the University of Santo Tomas under funding of Pishard, yung tatawag nila Aqua Drone, okay? Para sa water sampling, say in the middle of Laguna de Bay, no? For that application. And with these technologies, with these initiatives, we are very confident that we can produce our own brand of drone here in the Philippines.
Okay, sir.
Sabi niya, talagang maraming documentary requirements ang kaap. We had a meeting with DJI Asian, parang executive noon for Asia, no? Sinasabi niya na we need 5 licenses for a drone operator to get para mag-operate ng drone. Nung pinakita nilang sales nila per country, medyo nauhuli po talaga ang Pilipinas.
So yan, sana makatulong ang technology ito na mas mapaayos pa ang ating mga production. So sa specification po ulit sir, sorry nag-drag siya, pero same po ba daw ang gamit ng drone sa fertilizer at sa seed spreading? Sa FB po ito na tanong. Sa fertilizer po, same daw po ba ang ginagamit na drone?
Yes, same drone
attachment po. Opo.
The same yung T-series spreader attachment po for DJI. Yun din po ang ginagamit for seeds and for fertilizer application. May difficulty lang sa fertilizer kasi medyo kailangan linisin mo siya, tanggalin mo yung mga powdered kasi nag-grind niya as you transport this fertilizer. So malinis po sana siya para hindi ka mahirapan sa linis ng drone after the operation. We had that experience na na-realize namin na importante din yung quality na yung gagamiting fertilizer. But for seeds, okay po siya talaga.
Okay po. So yun, dito naman po sa possibility po ng paggamit ng drone natin naman sa pesticide. So interesado po sila doon. So sana po
Pwede nga po sa pesticides. Okay.
So how do we minimize, ano daw sirs? spray drift when using drone? Do you have present study on environmental risk assessment using aerial application po of
Yes.
agrochemical?
Opo. Isang malaking concern nga po itong drift, no? Kaya importante po na yung operator po ng drone has to follow certain standards and protocols. He has to measure, estimate po ang wind speed to minimize this drone. So maganda po siya, say much early in the morning, mag-spray na siya, or late in the afternoon pagka humupa na ang wind, gamitin niya po ang drone. And never use a drone na mataas po ang wind speed natin para ma-minimize yung ating drift. Tama po siya.
Okay po. So, pardon po kanina sa interruption natin sa internet. So, for further clarification, sir, meron tayo ditong clarification from FB po. Knowing na tumaas po ang seeding rate at tumaas po ang yield compared sa traditional, using drone siguro ito, may results din po ba kayo ng economic viability ng mga agricultural drones considering its cost and economic lifespan? Thank you po.
We did a quick and dirty economic analysis now when using drone, partial costing, partial benefit analysis. We hope to get really a good cost benefit analysis po, pati yung mga tangible and non-tangible components of this cost and benefit analysis. So far, ang nagawa lang nga po namin financial, pinakita po doon sa ating video about that. So, kung meron pong volunteer dyan to help us out to do the cost and benefit analysis, we'd be glad to work with you.
Yan, may call na ang PhilRice for collaboration sa mga
Yes po.
researchers natin. So yan, maraming interesado po dyan ng mga researchers. Kasi
Definitely.
ito na po yung future natin, talagang
Opo,
precision agriculture. Tapos in terms naman po ng crop monitoring, sa drone, ito po, basahin ko po yung ilan sa mga tanong nila. How can drone contribute to yield estimation, crop forecasting in rice production? Can they provide accurate and timely information on crop maturity, yield, potential, and harvest timing? So, additional din na question, nagiging routine na po ba natin sa PhilRice ang paggamit po ng drone sa pag-monitor po ng ating mga yield?
Ganito po. Meron na po, ang drone po is just a tool for us to collect data from the field. Ano po? We can attach, say, multispectral cameras onto it. Yung multispectral camera, mga 5 or 6 bandwidth-specific cameras po yan na ika-capture natin. And from these images, you can compute vegetation indices. Okay? And you can apply, say, for example, an artificial intelligence to associate po ang patterns po ng measurements, the multispectral measurements doon sa target parameter mo. For example po, a yield or sa occurrences po mga diseases, you can do that. No? So, as long as we have those models ready for applications sa field, and we can just use drones to collect that data. So, and if when that happens, pwede pong ginagamit ang drones. Kasi ang maganda po siya dyan ay low elevation remote sensing po. You can use drones for that, no? Low elevation. Kaya mas magiging accurate po ang estimation compared with if you are going to use a satellite data. Iyan isang gustong-gusto ko sa drones. So again, it will be depend on the models that we are going to use for assessing the status of the crop.
Okay po. So we can innovate pa kung basta maganda yung specs ng natin ng drone.
Actually, yun po ang malaking research na ginagawa ngayon.
Opo.
With drones.
So yan, marami pa tayong gagawin na calibrations and everything.
Yes po.
Researchable area pa siya. Pero talagang possible sir, no, Dr. Talyada, na talaga tayo ng drone na magamit na ito. So, ang isang din concern po, baka may thoughts din kayo tungkol dito, sir. Can we still need a manpower for the technology po? Like from here, wala nang nagtatrabaho po sa amin kasi po wala nang income kasi machine na. Tapos, kasunodin po niyan, definitely not for individual farmer ang drones unless rich farmer siya. Thus, how can we mobilize the private sector and cooperative to invest in drones to help individual farmers to increase their productivity? So, any thoughts po regarding sa kanilang mga comments?
Yes, one probably the major disadvantage of drone is the high investment cost, no? Parang ang pinakamalapit na machine na i-compare ko sa kanya yung mga ginagamit natin for harvesting, yung mga combined harvesting po. Almost pares po ang kanilang cost, no? So, we don't expect individual farmers to buy a combined harvester. So, ganun din po sa drone. We cannot expect them, no? Actually, medyo mas limiting sa drone kasi unang-una, aside from investment cost, yung technical requirement for the operator to use a drone, medyo mas mataas po compared sa technical requirement pagka mag-operate kang combined harvester. Okay, now with that, ang ginagawa nating model sana for this would be the farm service center or farm service provider. They will have the investment capability to operationalize a drone service operation, no? And then and they could easily handle pagka nagkaroon ng problem, mag-troubleshoot ng machine and so on, no? Kaya farm service provider po ang kailangan natin, just like how many combined harvester operators are doing. Now, isang magandang emerging concept would be the RAAS, Robotics as a Service, kasi robot din po yung drone eh. Magiging owner po talaga ng drone stays with the manufacturer. Sila pa rin talagang operator. Parang ipapagamit lang niya sa service operator, farm service centers, okay? And then, pagka nagkaroon ng problem, pwede nilang ibalik sa manufacturer for replacement or servicing. Ang importante kasi yung subscription-based service, no? Gagamit lang sila, magbabayad lang sila pag ginamit nila ang drone. At na-assure po ang maintenance, na-assure po ang after-sale service ng drone po. Yun po ang ating those are some of the thoughts. So, mas parang pattern po talaga ng combined harvester, yung technology na yun, plus yung concept nga po ng robotics as a service, mariretain po sa manufacturer. Kaya maganda po yung suggestion kanina na magiging locally manufactured po sana ang drones.
Mas mura kaya yun, sir, for us, kung tayo yung magpo-produce?
Kaya po. I was asking tong grupo po nila Dr. Anthony Bautista. Sabi nila na ang commercial drones niya nasa 1.2, 1.4, hanggang 1.5 million. Sabi niya, sir, kaya po natin yung mga 600,000 lang. Less than half of the what we pay for when importing these drones.
Tapos yung ganun kalaki, sir, na drone, i-recap ko na din po yung maraming tanong. Ilang area daw po ang minimum na scope na pwede niyang i-operate, tapos ano daw po yung economically viable na in terms ng area para po mas yung drone, mas maging effective.
I couldn't exactly say a figure, no, what would be the break-even point area para maging masabi mong nagagamit mo yung drone. Of course, the wider the areas, the better, no? Ang kagandahan ko, ang gustong-gusto ko sa drone, no, when comparing it with combined harvester, is that ang combined harvester ay para lang sa palay. And medyo pwede pa sa corn, no? Palay, corn and rice. Samantala ang drone po, you can use that for rice, you can use that for corn, you can use that for vegetable crops, you can use that for sugarcane, for coconut. Napakalaki po ng market ng drone compared to say combined harvester po. Kaya palagi ko maganda po, napakaganda po ng prospects in using drone, no? Sa palay alone, give or take, mga 3 years po, babin ninyo inyong investment.
3 years. O yun, 3 years daw sa palay. Lalo na siguro, sir, kung hybrid ang gagamitin nila.
Yes, of course. Kasi maganda yung cost-benefit, yung impact niya sa cost.
Hybrid.
Opo. Mataas ng production mo because you are using hybrid varieties. Tapos, nare-lessen mo yung amount na gagamitin. Seeds, yes.
Tapos yun naman, sir, ang thoughts nitong sa taga-Facebook din ata ito. So, bawal po mag-operate ang drone sa gabi. So, kasi may mga pest po kasi na sa gabi umaatake. So, ang best application po sa kanila ay sa gabi.
Opo.
Any thoughts daw po or any insight po kung paano po yun? So, siguro researchable area din natin ito kasi as you said kanina, sir, limited pa tayo ngayon sa seed at saka sa fertilizer spreading. So, yun, sir.
Opo. Yeah, we've been discussing about that many years back na, no, about sa occurrences ng mga insect pests sa gabi po, no. And probably if we can show a solid data for that, we can convince FPA and CAAP to allow us to use drones during nighttime. Ganun po.
Okay po. So, may time pa naman kami, Jess, no? Ilan na lang to. So,
Okay po, go ahead.
our agricultural drone already included under our SEP farm mechanization component being implemented by PhilRec from Facebook po ito. So, inclusion will fast-track the adoption of drone technology in the rice sector. So, kasi ang tanong naman po dito sa Zoom na itatagpi natin ay maa-adapt po ba ito ng ordinary farmer, ang technology na ito? So, yun.
Hindi pa po siya,
Adoption.
hindi pa po siya naka-align for distribution under RCEF program po, no. We need to do a lot of convincing pa to lobby with RCEF
Saka
para
marami po tayo sa research.
opo. Yan po. And hopefully over time, shortly, pwede naman po natin mapasama sa RCEF program. Ano yung second question natin, Joanna?
Are you optimistic that this technology will be adopted by the Filipino farmers? If
Yes,
so,
I am.
what
Yes,
can be
yes.
the smart objective for this drone concept?
Yes po, we can glean from the experiences po abroad, Vietnam, Thailand, Korea, that they are really adopting drone technology. So much more that it can also happen here in the Philippines. I'm quite optimistic. Alam niyo po ba, the biggest user ng drone ngayon ay ang Mindanao for pineapple and banana applications. Nagsisimula tayo sa rice at marami po ang ating areas. We have more than 2 million hectares of rice, no? Kaya very aggressive po ang mga companies to tap the rice industry market po for drones.
So yun po, no, speaking of Mindanao, meron po tayong question dito, is it advisable to use drone application of fungicide in current problem in rubber trees in Basilan? Would it be possible daw ba, sir? From Blanca
I believe po, yes. I believe itong ating collaborator po, Agridom, ang first experience po talaga nila is fungicide application for bananas, no? Para makontrol yung mga fusarium or whatever diseases that can happen with bananas. So I guess very much possible po.
Ayan, dito naman po tayo sa Facebook. In terms po ng regulation ulit, balik po tayo doon. Sir, with regards sa regulation, may move ba na magkaroon ng mas maluwag na regulation ang mga drone na ginagamit sa research or na-develop ng research as also yung ginagamit as sa service provision? In Vietnam daw po kasi walang regulation kaya in return, ang baba ng rate ng mga drone service providers sa farmers.
We are in active talks with FPA on this actually. We have been organizing meetings with them, industry and FPA, and as PhilRice kami po nag-mediate for that. And gusto rin nila talaga magamit ang drone, no, sa Philippines. And I heard we had a meeting with Eps.6 Sebastian that there are certain moves right now na pwede na pong gamitin ang drone for certain chemicals here in the Philippines. We are just waiting for the memorandum circular of FPA, sana po dumating na, that will really define the coverage of this tawag nila developmental regulation on the use of drones.
Yes po. In addition po sa regulation, isa din po, Dr. Jasper, do we need some regulation or coordination with AFP, PNP, and other entities during actual operation po ng drone for agriculture, especially in the field, highly volatile peace and order areas? Something like ganun.
Yes
Yun
po, may ganyan danger nga po, no? Kasi mataas po ang payload capacity ng drone, 50 kilos, 60 kilos, kaya na po sa the newer models. By the way, ang latest po talaga, hindi po T40, kundi T50 po. May bago na po ang DJI. Bago lang po na-release nila ang new model na to, na mas mataas po ang kanyang, mas maganda po ang kanyang features, but the same payload capacity, about 50 to 60 kilos. At yan po isang malaking concern yung sa military nga po, no? You can carry bombs towards itong mga target enemies of the state, for example, no? It's still a game that has to be defined or mabigyan ng ano pa ng guidelines on that, no? We cannot say on that.
Ayan, may tanong kay Sir Manny Regalado. Hi, sir. Meron po bang formal training para sa agricultural drone operators ang TESDA? Tapos may secondary din po yan sa training. Nagbibigay po ba kayo ng training ang PhilRice for calibrating rate of fertilizer and seed spreading using drone po? Nagbibigay na po ba kayo ng training? Yan po.
On calibration po, we don't have specific training yet on that, no? In fact, yung mga bago tong T40, for example, meron na po silang feature for self-calibration. But maganda rin po i-verify ito with a laboratory setup po sana, no? We can do that, no? We still have to make that training po. Gusto po namin magawa yan, no? Ang training ng drones. I'm not sure with TESDA yet, but I think I've heard there was a training done sa Region 4A, 4B and 4A, sa Region 4, that they did the training on that, no? Pero yung ating collaborator po na Agridom, they are really very capable. Sila po ang authorized training academy po ng DJI here in the Philippines. Yung iba pong suppliers, meron din silang binibigay na training kasi requirement po talaga yon. When you buy a drone, you need to have a training for the operator for you to get your CAAP license. Medyo ma-complicated po yung requirement for training kasi may obstacles kang gagawin, no? Merong as part of the requirement po. At napaka-importante that you should be trained on the use. Hindi po siya toy. Imagine that kung 1.5 million na lalaruin mo lang, sayang po. So you need to be properly trained and you need certain number of hours of operation para po talaga kayong aircraft operator when you are using drone.
So in terms naman po ng services, can PhilRice Satellite Office offer drone spray services for local farmers po? Request din nila.
Yes, we wanted to have that, no. Actually naka-plan out na po na magkakaroon po ng drone ang bawat branch station po ng PhilRice. Sila po magiging parang engines of promotion of this technology or platform of promotion of this technology. We want to do that. Nakita ko na po may mga plans na po kami dyan under proposal po for budget ng tier 2, parang ganun po. I've seen that, so hopefully we can do that.
So yun, ang dami po talagang pwedeng gamitan ng drone. So bukod po
Yes
sa
po.
mga researches na na-present nyo, sobrang dami pa. Ito pa yung mga kung pwede daw po bang magamit siya sa transporting ng agri-inputs, ang drone.
Yeah, probably po kasi 50 kilos, that would be about 1 sack of fertilizer. Pwede rin po siguro to do that. Ang isang tandaan po natin, ang drone po is a robotics technology. Meron po pong complementing unmanned ground vehicles, yung UGVs kung tawagin. For hauling supplies like that, seeds, fertilizer, and others, you can use a robot to do that. May mga design na po ngayon ng mga UGVs for that application and all other application within the farm po. Baka nag-harvest kayo ng inyong products like fruits and so on, you can use a UGV, no? Unmanned ground vehicle po to do that.
Ayan po. So we are from YouTube. Yan, ito, aktibo din ang YouTube, hindi magpapahuli. We are looking forward na magkameroon po ng trainer of trainers on drone technology operation in agriculture through ATI, DA PhilRice, and CAA, and sa technology dissemination. So sobrang interesado po talaga sila.
Yes po, yes po.
So in terms naman sir ng collaboration, how are we going to reach you? Paano po kami makakasali sa pag-aaral natin ng drone at paano po natin ano po ang further needs nyo po para mas maging effective po yung paggamit natin ng drones?
Yes, you can communicate with us through our Office of the Deputy Executive Director for Research. Right now, you can address your queries with Dr. Eduardo Jimmy Kilang, tumatayong
Okay, Sir
OIC
Jimmy? Yes po.
for that. And you can also communicate with our program leader sa Smart Farm po, si Dr. Dindo King Donaire.
Okay po, si Sir
Meron po
Dindo.
kami isang part ng aming Smart Farm program working on drone po. Right now, we have, yung pinakita ko kanina are just on site within PhilRice lang po na research. Now, we are spreading our wings outside of PhilRice. May mga farms po na kinokonduct namin itong similar experiments that I've shown, pero sa farmers field na po. Ginagawa namin dito sa Nueva Ecija. So, yun po, just communicate with us. You can send an email for you to collaborate with us. We have been doing that ngayon po sa UST, no? And with Agridom. So, we are very open for collaboration.
Thank you, sir, for a very informative and lively conversation with you. Sobrang kulang po ang ating isang oras at kalahati sa pag-uusap. Pero hopefully po, hindi naman po ito ang huli. So, thank you, sir, ulit. So, please stay po sa floor para po sa aming certificate giving. So, over to you, Jessa. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Ayan. Thank you po, Miss Juana, as well as to our speaker, Sir Jasper Talyada, for the additional insight during our Q&A. Also po, thank you for our participants for their active participation. At this point, on behalf of the College of Agriculture and Food Science, we would like to present this certificate of appreciation to Dr. Jasper G. Talyada for serving as the resource person on the rice grown by drone. Is this possible? During the Rice Science and Technology Webinar Series, Part 2, held on 27 June 2023 via Zoom. Given this 27th day of June 2023 at the College of Agriculture and Food Science, University of the Philippines, Los Baños, Laguna, Philippines. Signed by our Dean, Dr. Elpidio M. Agbisit Jr. Sir, baka meron pa po kayong ipopromote po. I will give you this opportunity po for last for last na mga sasabihin niyo po, greetings and everything po.
Under digital agriculture po, drone nga po isang very important feature po ng digital ag, no? PhilRice is also working with robotics technology, yung mga ground-based robots po. And I'm inviting other people, if you are interested with this technology, we are very much willing to collaborate with you, no? For collaboration, to work with robotics technology. Aside from that, another aspect of digital ag is the Internet of Things, yung IoT kung tawagin natin dyan. We are also working on this aspect of the digital ag technology. Siyempre kasama dyan yung machine learning, artificial intelligence, yan. Napakalawak po ng coverage ng digital ag. So, I invite mga young people, especially the young people, no, to work on this, no, for digital ag para po naman maging sikat ang Pilipinas, makatulong tayo sa mga farmers natin at mapabuti po talaga natin ang rice industry in particular and agriculture, the whole agriculture in general. So again, thank you so much.
Thank you din po. Yes po, sir. Thank you po, Sir Jasper, for being with us today and sharing your expertise with us. So, and now for the announcement, please stand by for our episode 7 this Thursday, June 29, 2023, with the topic titled Better Tools for Better Rice Varieties, Modernizing Rice Genetic Improvement, to be presented by Sir Oliver E. Manangkil. So, Also, no, let me take this opportunity to thank the people who made this event possible. Special thanks to the CAPS Extension Committee, the Ad Hoc Committee, of course, the ASI webinar team, and Phil Rice. Thank you po. And now for the evaluation. You may access the evaluation form by scanning the QR code on the screen or through the link which is also posted in the comment section. Ayan, so for now, last part of our program, and to formally close this webinar, may I call Dr. Sherry B. Marasigan, our Deputy Director of the Agricultural Systems Institute. Ma'am She, ikaw na po.
Thank you, Jessa. Good morning, everyone. So, wow, that was a very, very interesting discussion. Hindi ako makaano dun sa mga questions sa mga participants. So, unang-unang gusto po natin magpasalamat sa ating speaker, kay Dr. Jasper Talyada of PhilRice. Thank you, sir, for introducing us further about the importance and beauty of digital agriculture through the use of drones. So, we more or less, we already know about drones. But Sir Jasper shared with us today the intricacies about drone, the different types and uses, as well as issues on licensing and security, among others. So you shared about its limitations and strengths. You allowed us to understand how technology can further enhance agriculture, especially in the Philippines. The use of drones for rice seeding, seed spreading, and fertilizer spreading. So how drones can reduce the seeding rate and therefore could be used to cover more areas and thus, of course, reduce cost. It is indeed possible to grow rice via drone. Hopefully, through PhilRice and its partners, more farmers will be able to avail of the use of drones that would reduce their production cost. And as mentioned in the talk, hopefully this could also encourage the youth to participate more in agriculture. So through this webinar, we learned the possibilities of maximizing the use of technology for rice farming and of course, the value of research. So with that, may challenge ulit sa atin bilang part ng webinar na ito ang huwag tumigil sa quest on how we can further help the farmers, our farmers. So again, thank you very much for the participants of this morning's webinar. To the CAPS Extension Committee and the ASI webinar team, maraming salamat for putting up another very enlightening webinar. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Jessa?
Thank you, Ma'am Sherry, for that wonderful message po. Indeed po, madami po tayong natutunan sa ating speaker for this morning. So thank you again po, sir, for being with us today. And balik po muna tayo kasi madami po tayong nagtatanong sa evaluation. Yan po. So again po, please scan po. To access our evaluation, please scan our QR code which is posted on the screen. Tapos, isi-share po ng ating extension committee po yung ating link. So, again, please follow us on our official Facebook page. I-type nyo lang po ang UPLB College of Agriculture and Food Science and our YouTube channel to keep you posted on the upcoming events. So, once again po, please stay tuned for our next episode. See you and kita-kits po. Mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jessa.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Jasper.
Opo. I'm leaving now.
Sige po.
Okay po. Bye-bye.
Thank you po. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay.